Hi, Sean.
I talked to you yesterday.
Good. You are fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
A great host. Show is great. Listen to his show.
Absolutely, 95.5.
One mic. All I need is one mic. That's all I need.
And lastly, we were talking about billing being correct or things of that nature, or critical mentions. Does any of that change the impact, I think, what these co-conspirators were doing based on the indictment, that the ultimate goal was to overthrow the 2020 election?
That was the ultimate goal. And we've had people that are supposed to be leaders that instead of being leaders are just cowering down. This country needs leaders, not cowards.
Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant, my friends. And that was Fani Willis, Fulton County DA Fani Willis, and one of her many non-answers. Well, she answered Harold Jones, the Democrat, who asked that question. Look, let me say this. The hearing today wasn't meant to, I don't think, or if it was, it did not accomplish its goal, but I don't think it was meant to get Fani Willis or bring down Fani Willis. That wasn't the intent, and if it was the intent, it was very much unsuccessful. The attempt, the purpose of it, as you heard, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones was on the show last night, and he said very clearly the reasoning for the Senate hearing was to get some answers so laws can be passed, or a law can be passed during this legislative session to stop this from ever happening again. Now, that being said, let's be very clear. The only people anywhere in this country who believed that that case against Trump and all the others was a righteous case are partisan Democrat hacks, period. Okay? The same people that believed that January 6th was a coup attempt and an insurrection with no weapons. These are the same group of people. These are the same types of people, the same types of mentality where emotions overtook any kind of logic. Okay, a man saying, hey, find me 11,000 votes is not a crime. We know that's not a crime. It's like, hey, Mike, let's rob a bank. We never move from our seats. We never drive to the bank. We never go to the bank. We never rob the bank. But yet someone will kick in my door and say, you're under arrest for robbing a bank. That's what happened here. It's exactly what happened. And the only people that truly believe that something went wrong or someone should have been arrested for it, i.e. President Trump, is a partisan Democrat hack, period. That being said, and it was totally political. Right? Despite the attempts of Miss Willis, D.A. Willis, she earned the title. I'll call her by her name, D.A. District Attorney Fani Willis. Despite the attempts today for her to keep talking as if this was a righteous case. It's, listen to this. Listen to this clip of Fani Willis.
I took an oath to do the right thing. People came into my community and committed a crime, and I indicted them. And rest assured, if someone else comes in my community and commits a crime, I will indict them again.
Now, if someone comes into your community and you say they committed a crime, will you indict them? That's what happened here. So despite her attempts throughout the morning to just keep pushing this narrative of a case that's not even there, it was thrown out. It was thrown out. You can't keep saying someone committed a crime if everyone who looked at it, including the judges, said, there's nothing here. You can't double down on it. But let me say this, my friends. There were 3 current candidates for lieutenant governor on that Senate committee. Greg Dolezal, good friend. Blake Tillery, good friend. Steve Gooch, good friend. 3 candidates for lieutenant governor on that Senate committee hearing today. All of them are running for lieutenant governor. They're all on a committee, all asking questions, all getting FaceTime, all getting sound time. 3, all friends of the show. I know them all. Good men, all of them. I still will, quick aside, I wish they all weren't running against each other, but that's neither here nor there. But if you believe, like I do, that the Fani Willis case was politically motivated from the leak of the phone call, which started the whole thing. If you lose a state by 11,000 votes, your question, and people are telling you, you don't live here, Trump didn't live here, and people are telling you, yo, there was some fraudulent stuff happening here. We think you were robbed. As a matter of fact, we know you were robbed. We know this race was stolen. And you make a call to Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State, who is a candidate for governor right now, and you say, hey, man, find me 11,000 votes. I'm hearing there was fraud. That's not a crime. The leaking of the phone call probably may have been a crime. I don't know. But it wasn't a crime. And only partisan Democrat hacks would call it such. But again, that being said, today's hearing, you're going to hear it here from me first. Today's hearing was as much politically motivated, particularly by the 3 gentlemen running for lieutenant governor, as was her politically motivated indictment. It's all politics. Nothing wrong with the second time doing what they were doing. Obviously, it was wrong for her to do it in the first place. But I get the Senate committee hearing. But trust me when I tell you, this hearing today was just as much a part of politics for the Republicans as it was for her and the Democrats to go after these people with these criminal charges. I would say hers was a little bit more egregious because you actually cost people reputations, money, and jobs. So hers was much more egregious. But today's hearing, I watched it after the fact because I was in a meeting. But I will tell you, it was just as politically motivated. And I knew it was politically motivated when I tuned into the live stream and I saw 3 prominent candidates for lieutenant governor on the committee. Greg Dolezal, good friend of the show, this is what he had. He was the chair. This is what he had to say.
I think that she probably spent 80% of her time not answering the questions, but to the extent that we did get answers to those questions, we'll take those and do our committee work and move forward from here.
It's politics. Good for him. Good for him. And let me say this. I don't agree with Fani Willis's, DA Fani Willis's politics, but I will tell you, she did exactly what she was supposed to do today. You bring me in on something that's already been thrown out, on something that I know to be politically motivated when I went after your side, and you bring me into a committee hearing and you sit me down in front of you, I'm going to be the most hostile witness you've ever seen in your life. I'm going to be so hostile that you will never invite me back. And I'm going to say whatever I want to say. And it's going to be hostile. It's going to be with an attitude. And you're lucky I don't curse you out. I'm just telling you. I see a lot of people saying, oh, she's so hostile. Of course she's hostile. The defendants were hostile when she brought them up on politically motivated charges as well. No one wants to be hassled when they know they did nothing wrong. No one wants to be hassled. The defendants didn't want to be hassled, and now that the case is thrown out, she's not trying to be hassled. But she's also trying to show her constituents, her voters. She's trying to show her voters that she's going to stand up to the Republicans. She even fundraised off of it the night before. What we saw today, ladies and gentlemen, was all politics for both sides. Politics for her, being hostile, if you call it that, being loud, having an attitude. And the questioners all trying to get FaceTime and voice time because they're standing up for the Republicans and Trump. It is what it is. But that's what you saw today. Don't make much out of it. Don't take too much from it. Don't be mad. Don't be happy. It is what it is. Shelley Winter Show, 44872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. We will be right back. We're here till 11 tonight, Magic Mike. And when I come back, I want to talk about my slight unhappiness at having to be here till 11 o'clock tonight. We'll be right back. It's the Shelley Winter Show. We're carrying Trump's live address to the nation at 9 p.m. You're going to hear that live here, so don't go anywhere. We're here all night long. We'll be right back.
Like Christmas.